The news about the call by Senator Abaribe for the resignation of President Buhari is all over the airwaves. Every news is carrying it. But that is not actually what I want to bring to you. But in case you have not seen that video, I want you to take a look at this video, and I'll be right back to open your eyes in between the lines what transpired that place at that Senate during that scenario when Abaribe called for the resignation of President Buhari. Watch that video. I'll be right back.
We did not elect the chief of staff. We did not elect the joint chiefs. We did not elect the national security advisor. We elected the government of APC in 2015 and re-elected them in 2019. The reason why we re-elected them was that they continued to tell us that because they had the key to security, and the whole Nigeria voted them in 2015, and I agree with that. And I'm saying, Mr. President, when you want to deal with a matter, you go to the head. So we will go to the government and ask this government to resign because they can no longer do anything in this country. Mr. President, in conclusion, yes, Nigerians voted a government into power. And that government even said, if we don't perform, stone us. We are going with the stones to stone them now because they are no longer. Mr. President, because we have to get to the root of this matter, I can only say one thing. Those who live by propaganda will die by propaganda.
Now, let me now open up your eyes what happened, because many people have been talking about the resignation and leaving behind the underlying factor of these never-do-wells that are parading themselves as political class in Nigeria. Beginning with the Senate president, that rubber-stamped Senate president of Senate, Senator, what they call him, Senator Lawan. Imagine him cautioning or even threatening Senator Abaribe with hate speech.
I don't want us to be partisan, and I will advise against hate speech. And I will advise against hate speech. And I will advise against hate speech in this chamber.
This is what I call adding injury to the salt, or perhaps adding salt to the injury. When Senator Abaribe was presenting his speech, you see, he was diplomatic. He was trying to be politically correct to say that Nigerian people voted for President Buhari and APC because of their resolve to fight insurgents. Good. And he came up to also say further that the Nigerian people voted back Buhari on the ground of insecurity and their promise to end insurgents. And the same Senate president of Lawan, as they call him, told the Nigerians or said to the public that the Nigerian people voted for Buhari not because of just insurgent, but because their lives had become better after the first tenure.
Okay. Please, Minority Leader, let me remind you once again that Nigerians voted for APC in 2015, and because they saw improvement in their lives, they voted APC again in 2019.
Nigerian people, I want to ask you now. How, to what extent have your life been better since 2015? Since the inception of this God-forsaken, monumental failure of a government under the leadership of President Buhari, tell me, how well have your life failed? In job security, in life security, in the economy, in even their so-called mantra of fighting corruption. How well have your life fared? I mean, Nigerians, I need your response to this question from the comments. Tell me, to what extent have your life been better since this government entered into power? I am not holding brief for PDP, in case you don't know. I am not holding brief for any political class in Nigeria, because they are two sides of the same coin. I will always say they are pot and kettle. All of them are black. Now, to you Nigerians, I ask you again, how well have your lives been better? Talking about PDP, yesterday I was with some people discussing, and a young man wanted to be sympathetic with PDP, saying that they are being too soft in their opposition against APC. And the man there made a response that I love. He said to this young man, if you are going home, or if you are going to market, wherever you are going, and you on the middle of the road, you defecate or you shit, as Nigerian people go call them. After you don't shit for road, you go your way, and you are coming back through that same route, either to your home or to market, wherever you are going, and you meet flies and ugly smell on that particular spot where you initially where you don't shit put. Who you go blame? You go get mouth talk. Why I'm saying this is because it is an express answer to PDP. Over the years, PDP laid a strong foundation for corruption and impunity, and APC is consolidating on that, while the victims are the people. Now, back to the insecurity issue, because that is the bone of contention. Insecurity in Nigeria. Insecurity in Nigeria, which this government promised heaven and earth to end insurgent. I want to bring to you this summary or this analysis or a flashback to this. Then I'll be right back to continue on the issue of insecurity and the insincerity of this government. I'm coming right back. On 1st November 2012, National News Dailies carried this breaking news. Boko Haram names Buhari, 5 others as mediators. Federal government welcomes move. Buhari cautious. The news reads in part, leadership of Jamatul Alish Sunna leader Awati Wal Jihad, also called Boko Haram, has named the former head of state and presidential candidate of Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, General Muhammad Buhari, among 6 prominent northerners to mediate between the group and the federal government. The federal government, in a statement by Dr. Ruben Abati, presidential spokesman, welcomed the move. Boko Haram, however, said that for the group to observe ceasefire, the federal government must heed to its demand by arresting and prosecuting the former governor of Borno State, Senator Ali Modu Sharif. Governor Ibrahim Shetima of Borno State also said security agencies should be allowed to do their job on those they suspect are sponsors or sympathizers of Boko Haram sect. Now, the very question you have to ask yourself, who are sympathetic with the insurgent, Boko Haram, Fulani herdsmen, and the rest of it? Who are those termed sympathizers or sponsors of Boko Haram? Wash. On April 2nd, 2013, National News Dailies carried this news. Jonathan to Buhari, stop Boko Haram. The news reads in parts. President Goodluck Jonathan on Tuesday sent a strong message to former head of state, General Muhammad Buhari, pleading with him to spearhead the campaign to persuade members of Boko Haram sect to accept dialogue as a means of ending the orgy of violence in the north. Similarly, Jonathan asked Buhari to emulate his role he, Jonathan, played by going to meet militants in the vast hideout in Niger Delta to plead with them to lay down their arms and accept the general amnesty granted by late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua on June 25, 2009. Jonathan said he expected Buhari to lead the way in persuading Boko Haram insurgents in the north to stop bombing and enter into dialogue with the federal government in a view to ending the violence in the region, which is threatening to disrupt the economy of the region and Nigeria. In another news published by Telegraph on 16 September 2015, Nigeria's Buhari suggests Boko Haram amnesty for Chibok girls. President Buhari says he may consider releasing Boko Haram fighters in return for the release of 200 school girls kidnapped last April. Mohammed Buhari, the Nigerian president, has said his government may consider releasing jailed Boko Haram fighters in exchange for the return of more than 200 school girls kidnapped from the northern town of Chibok last April. Mr. Buhari, who in July vowed to defeat the Islamic insurgent force within 18 months, said the authorities were talking to the few Boko Haram fighters in custody to determine how important they were to the group and whether they could be used as suitable bargaining chips. What it literally means, the watch where you put for hand, you know they use mirror, check the time. What thing they happen for Nigeria is a clear factor. It's a clear indication of where the problem lies. The insincerity of the government to fight insurgents and the continuous killing of Nigerians. I asked them, make no talk saying I mean talk am. Who is behind Boko Haram and to whose benefit? You remember during Jonathan's time, which you have just watched, when it was reported, not just reported, it is clear from body language, news report by prominent Northerners, when this issue of insurgent Boko Haram was still coming up and it could have been nipped in the bud. They were playing politics with it. I mean, the Northern leaders. They were using it as a political tool. Today, it is ravaging and eating up the Northern Nigeria today. And they are crying. The same will be applicable to other parts of Nigeria who are playing politics with important issues with respect to lives and properties, protection of lives and properties of the citizens, the improvement of the economy, and empowering the youth to become economic viable and add economic value to the system. The more you increase poverty and hunger, thinking you're going to continue using it as a tool to continue your impunity in government, to continue funding your continuous stay in government and plundering public wealth, your time to come. I'm talking about the South because you may be laughing. It is happening in the North. It is happening in the North. Hey, when the table turns around and it hits the Southeast, my homeland, when you continue allowing yourself to be used as a political tool to continue this impunity against the people by plundering and diverting public wealth and making the lives of the people miserable. When it go boomerang, hey, the people should open up their mindset because we are here to open up your mind. Now, going back again to the issue of insecurity. Make we not talk saying I mean talk am. Listen to these few words of these people which you have already seen from this platform or anywhere else. I'll be right back.
The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them.
I was the first person to suggest that army generals are making a big deal out of Boko Haram and insurrection or the insecurity, that it has become a business.
If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Now you've seen it. They have just said it explicitly clear. The rest of them, they spoke well. And that is the true situation of things in Nigeria. Boko Haram has become a very big industry to rake in billions. Look me talk now them talk. Now to the Nigerian people who are the direct victims of this whole killings, this whole mess of the country. What is your stand? Will you continue praying? Will you continue being used? Because you are the ones that are being used to bring back these idiots, these never do worse, into power. By the way of you being a professor and probably a returning officer of INEC, you are being used to rig election in the way maybe you are a security operative, either police, army, navy, whatever security operative you are being used to commit electoral criminality. Thuggery, the youth, unemployed youths who are graduates and have not gotten job for the past 5 years or since they graduated, their lives is in wreck. You are being used as political talks. You are being used for kidnapping. You are being used to continue fueling these idiots back to power. I talk to you. Which way Nigeria? When this song was sung, it was even during this Buhari regime that Sonoko sang this song. After he truncated democratic process. In fact, that is more reason why he should resign, not just be resigned, but to be jailed. Because he truncated. It is in history. Crime is a crime anytime, any day. The same man that truncated democratic process by overthrowing Shagari, he sang, Which Way Nigeria? When Nigeria was still at the express road, I wonder what he would have sang now, or sung now, that Nigeria is in the middle of nowhere. Under the same leadership of the same man. By the time this new level, this next level go finish, all of you now go understand the true meaning of colonial contraption called Nigeria. I rest my case. The rest is up to you, because I'm only here to open up your eyes, to open up your thinking faculty, to start thinking and reasoning like humans, because Nigerians are the worst set of people you can ever see anywhere. Fella sang it, suffering and smiling. This time, they are no longer just smiling. They are even fighting to death to defend their oppressors. And those who have brought themselves to fight for their liberation is their enemies, the enemy of the people. Whereas their oppressors are the ones they clap for. They give them titles in church and mosques and towns and villages. They are the ones they are pre-singing and defending. Nigerians, until your mumu go do, until you say enough is enough, my people, there is no way out. Nigeria is like this, going down. In fact, it's in a double quick match. In case of those of you who are saying we are working hard or we are doing this to break up Nigeria, let me tell you, without doing anything, just fold your hands Nigeria like this, Nigeria will crash. Nigeria is moving towards that direction with double quick match. But I tell you, until we bring an end to this process through political revolution, some of you might say no to this, but that is the only way. If you think you can fight, oh yeah, roll it out. But if you think you are just there trying to just talk and talk without putting up action, stay one side, because the people are tired of this whole process. It is time for us to say enough is enough. One word is enough for the wise, and I've spoken so many. It is time, and over to you, to open up your mindset and stop reasoning like a zombie. It is time for you to open up your mindset and start reasoning like a proper human. Like I continue saying, the Nigerian people, irrespective of where you're coming from, whether Oduduwa, Arewa, or even Biafra, all of us in these British colonial contraptions are victims. We have to take over our future and our destiny. It lies in our hands. Join the revolution now.
Revolution is in the air. Nigerians who are victims of impunity in government by corrupt political class are fed up. They want their lives back. They want the security of their lives and properties. They want to put an end to medical trips abroad by political class and their families. They are fed up with collapsed health care service of Nigerian hospitals. They are fed up with collapsed education system of Nigerian schools. They are fed up with joblessness of youths who are being pushed to the extreme to survive. The Biafrans, the Oduduwas, the Arawas, and all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria are fed up with the failed state called Nigeria. It is time for a political revolution that will bring the real freedom to all Nigerian people. Join the train now. Join BRN.
We are preaching mental revolution because that is where it starts. Because we will be the people that will be government.
We be government.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep following our trends on this platform. We see it, we say it. We are not afraid of anything. We are not afraid to speak it the way it is, because it is our commitment to empower you with the right information. So keep subscribing, keep bringing people on this platform. Drop your comments. Let's get your opinion. Don't forget to answer that question. How better have your life been since this government assumed office? Goodbye. Stay safe.